All right, what is going on? Today's trade recap for the day. Really unfortunate day to be honest. Let's get into it. So, basically, we did a bunch of nutting today, and then randomly had this like giant three, like 1 minute, ginormous wick to previous day high, which is such a weird move. But anyways, this is a trade that I took today. It was based off this 5 minute gap being respected on NQ and this 30 minute gap being respected after a wick out of all of these lows right here. It seemed like a pretty solid trade to be honest. Really happy with it. Uh, bless me. One more time. I'll go over all the checklists, but let's get into the bias before. So today I was leaning bullish, which I think was the correct bias. That given holy jump. Is that what that just happened? Wow. What in God's name? Oh my God. Anyways, today's trade recap. I was bullish on the day. We were coming up into here trading bullish overnight, and then we had targets of previous day highs. I felt like it was kind of obvious, and we had a lot of 1 hour gaps protecting us lower. So I was really leaning bullish into this like whole giant range, especially coming into previous day highs, which I thought was like such a clear draw on liquidity. Fortunately, didn't end up happening. So as you can see, market opens and we manipulate lower initially, and we formed this 5 minute gap, which I really liked. The one right here, which I will mark out, like you'll see in the drawing, right here. And that kind of led me to believe that if we retrace into it within the 945 opening range move, we were just going to run straight into previous day high. But unfortunately, that is not what happened. We saw a pretty clean move. So I'll get rid of this. We saw a pretty clean move lower into these 30 minute gaps, which would kind of validate the bullish order flow, which I wanted to see. So we can say here, high time for variable reaction for one of our confluences. And followed by that, we had a clean move retrace, and then we had engulfing closure and engulfing closure. Followed by that, we also had clean structure. I like the structure. It seems very obvious. So clean structure. And then we also had good objectives. Reasonable objectives. It was honestly pretty good. Good stop loss, everything. So it seemed like a pretty solid A trade. Not A plus because we didn't have any inverse rally gaps, but still pretty solid. We also did react for like another higher time frame for rally gap. So that like even adds more onto it. Unfortunately, we were just forming trendline liquidity, and luckily for me, we hit my break even like perfectly, and I actually caught a winning day on my funded accounts, which is nice. But then we just reversed right after, so I think I got pretty lucky with that. But I should have recognized that once we came up into here after sweeping these highs, we should just go straight up. So really weird as to why we didn't. Not gonna complain. It's a good trade. It didn't work out today, and that's perfectly fine. I did end up taking this other long on my evals right here, based of where is it? I took it on ES. Sorry, let me go to ES so I can show you guys the trade that I took on my evals. I took it off of this reaction off of these this 5 minute gap right here. We had a pretty clear MW move right here, so I enter on that, and then I actually had a target. My trade was like this, kind of like this. I had a target here, and then I had my targets here, but didn't end up happening. It is what it is, It's just your classic, retrace. We swept this low. We are still reacting off of this 30 minute gap, this hourly gap. So no reason for me to believe that we're going to go lower. We actually moved higher, and I guess I wish I would have entered a little bit lower, but it's fine. You can't predict the move exactly when it happens, so it's just part of the game. Now, market conditions have been really bad lately, but I've still been able to capitalize very nicely. I've been able to take good trades. Although we got break even today, I'm super happy about my trading. Normally this would be one of those days where I just blow all my accounts, but today we're able to actually capitalize and take a winning day out of this, which is the best part. And I think that has to do with the fact that I was sizing up a little bit. I was risking more than usual, so that definitely helps. And tomorrow I'm actually going to be risking more than usual too. I'm going to be sizing up because I want to catch a good trade. I want to catch a good move. If I can just catch two more good trades, I'm more than chilling for a payout, for $4,000 payout, and then I should be able to also pass all my funded accounts to max allocate. So yeah, not much else to talk about, to be honest, other than the fact that this ginormous jump just happened. I honestly don't really know what to say about it. Might stick around and watch some of the Asia trades play out because this is ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, so strategy working really well, feeling as good as ever. Market conditions aren't as good as ever, but I'm protecting my capital, which is the most important thing. I'm not losing my accounts. I'm not blowing money on evals. I'm not doing any of the things that, a lot of people do. So I'm really happy with my performance. That's basically it for the recap. I ain't got nothing else, to be honest with you. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's trade recap. Peace.